Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome to this video. Thank you very much for clicking on it. I really appreciate it. Today, a very special day, very exciting day. Today we are looking back on my personal favorites from 2025. We have a lot to get through, so I'm not going to waste too much time talking right now. But basically, what we're going to do today, we're going to start off by going through my top 10 albums of the year. Then we're going to move on to my top 20 B-sides, my top 20 title tracks. We're going to do my favorites in some specific categories that I have chosen. And then I will end the video on my current top 10 groups and my current top 5 biases for those that may be interested. So, like I said, a lot to get through, so we're just going to dive straight in. Let's do it. Now, I do have to make a quick disclaimer, because Lord knows if I don't, there will be those people in the comments. These are just my personal picks. For anyone interested, the full playlist of songs that I listened to and enjoyed this year is 843 songs long. That's a lot. So cutting that down to 10 albums, 20 title tracks, and 20 B-sides was really difficult, and I obviously can't include everything. So these are just my big favorites, the ones that most stood out to me. Not all of them I reacted to, some of them I did listen to in my own time. This was the first year that I really let myself do that, and I really enjoyed it. So I had a lot of music to pick from. If your personal faves aren't here, that's fine, that's okay. It doesn't mean I hate it, doesn't mean I disliked it. I probably enjoyed it. I have a very broad music taste. It just didn't make it onto my personal favorites list. So please feel free to leave your own favorites in the comments. I would love to see what other people have been loving this year. Let's just share the love and appreciation for all of these great artists, because we really have had some amazing music this year, and some amazing releases. So like I said, share your favorites, and I will absolutely have a read of them. But just please remember, this is my personal list, and it's okay if it's not the same as yours. Anyway, let's dive into this. So we're going to start off with my top 10 albums. What I'm going to do for albums, title tracks, and B-sides, because I'm not going to sit here and talk about every single one, because we would be here all day and I don't have that kind of time, and quite frankly neither do you, and I don't want to put you through that. What we're going to do for albums, I'm going to show you quickly my top 10 through to 4, just in rapid succession, with maybe a little note here and there on my thoughts on those albums, which songs were my favorites on it and whatnot. And then when we get to the top 3, we'll come back and I will talk about those top 3 in more detail. It'll be a similar thing for B-sides and title tracks. I'll show you 20 through to my top 6, and then I will talk in more detail about my top 5. Okay, cool, sounds good. So my top 10 albums. Here is 10 through to 4. Enjoy. Okay, so there was that. Hope you enjoyed. Honestly, I think out of all of the categories that I am covering in this video, I think albums was one of the most difficult for me to choose, simply because I knew my top favorites, but then there were so many albums that I felt kind of on the same level about, and I was like, how am I meant to choose out of these? Like, it was really, really difficult to actually like choose a top 10, but it was not difficult to choose my top 3. That was very, very easy. Those were there were 3 albums where I was like, nope, these are my top 3. So coming in at number 3, probably not much of a surprise that this is on the list, it's Triple S's Assemble 25. Okay, so Triple S has, quite frankly, yet to miss with a single album. Every single album they have dropped up until this point has been incredible. They have such a strong musical identity, even across all of the different units. You know, like every unit has a certain vibe, a certain energy, especially within their title tracks, but I feel like you listen to an album and you're like, yeah, that's a Triple S album. You know, like they have a very distinct sound, and it is a sound that I love very, very much. And I was going back and forth on whether I wanted Assemble 25 or I wanted Secret Himitsu Pimil, the Hachi album, to be my favorite Triple S album of the year, because that album, the Hachi album, is really good. And I feel like it's gone underappreciated because it's a Japanese album, and wasn't promoted as strongly as some of their Korean albums have been, at least not within Korea. But it's a really good album, so I highly recommend you go and check that out if you haven't. But I did in the end decide to go with Assemble 25. The Assemble albums are just so iconic. And I love the fact that we're going to get one of these basically every year. It's going to be a great time. I cannot wait for the 2026 one, whenever that may be. It's going to be awesome. But my favorite songs off of this album, obviously I loved the title track, Are You Alive? I didn't love it as much as Girls Never Die, but I still loved it a whole lot. But my favorite songs, I think, it's actually kind of tough to, I want to try and pick like a top 3 for each album, but it is kind of hard. But we'll go Love to Love, Too Hot, Persona, I think that would probably be my top 3. It is difficult. It's a really, really good album. There is a reason it's in my top 3, but those I think would be my top 3 tracks. Love it. Love Triple S. Hell yeah, keep them coming. Moving on to number 2, we have Tonga's Alivio album. Take it easy, no stress. Now, funnily enough, the last time Tonga released a full album, it was my album of the year. So when it was announced that she was coming back with a new one, obviously now in a very different situation, different company, I was very excited. I was very, very excited about it. And this album definitely did not disappoint. It is so good, back to back. Every single song is incredible. I think I do have a bit of an easier top 3, just because my top 3 songs were like major standouts, but every single song on this album is so freaking good. If you haven't listened to it, please go and do it. But my top 3 are Creepin', Loyal, and Even Steven. Love Even Steven. It's just so it's so sassy and so satisfying to listen to. I love Tonga. May many more albums be in her future, because god damn does she make a good album, and I cannot wait to listen to more. So okay, moving on to my number 1 album of the year. I don't think this will be a surprise for anyone, because this album dropped like a bomb, I think, in a lot of people's in a lot of people's K-pop listening worlds, and my number 1 album of the year is NMIXX's Blue Valentine. Now this album, I mean, what even is there to say? It's just a back-to-back masterpiece. I have obviously been a fan of NMIXX since debut. I have loved them since debut, and you know, I've had a bit of an up and down journey. When your bias leaves the group within the first year, it feels a bit shit and it's not fun. So it kind of took me a while to really get back on the NMIXX train, but I feel like between last year and this year, they have me wholeheartedly. And this album, I feel like, is just a culmination of a couple of years of phenomenal music and really hard work, and they are finally starting to reap the rewards of that hard work. You know, the success of this album, the charting success that they had, like everything about it, it just hit at just the perfect time in the perfect way, and I love every single thing about it. Not a single song on this 12-track album would I skip, including the separated versions of Oh, love them. But just, oh, it's just so good. I truly, I couldn't think of another album more deserving of album of the year for me. It was always this one. As soon as I heard it, I was like, it's this one. To be honest, as soon as I heard the title track, I was like, chances are this will be my album of the year. Hadn't even listened to the album at that point, but I knew. I just knew. I listened to Blue Valentine, I was like, yeah, okay. Masterpiece. Cool. Great. Wonderful. Love it. I'm so excited for what 2026 might be for them. This, I feel like, was a real game changer of an album for them, and I just hope that, you know, they're able to just keep it coming, because they are so talented and they've been working so hard, and it is about time more people woke up and paid attention to NMIXX. It is about damn time, and I'm so ready to watch it happen. I'm so freaking ready. Anyway, my top 3 songs on this, again, very, very difficult because it is such a great album, but not including the title track and the pre-release, because that just makes things so much more difficult. If I'd go just out of the B-sides, we'll go with Shape of Love, Adore You, and Podium, I think, as my top 3. I really fuck with Podium a lot. It's such a good song. But yeah, I think those would be my top 3 out of the B-sides, at least. Adding in Blue Valentine and Spinning on It makes it really difficult, but we'll just keep it to B-sides. But those were my top 10 albums of this year. Like I said, let me know your own. Would love to know what other people are thinking. There were a lot of other albums that I loved that I couldn't squeeze into this top 10. So I would love to know if we share any of those in common. And yeah, great times. Right, we got to move on though, because we got to keep this rolling. Let's move on to B-sides. Like I said before, I'm going to show you my top 20 through to 4, just in quick succession. And then, no, my top 20 through to 6, sorry, and then we will come back and talk about my my top 5 when we get there. So enjoy that. I will see you in a moment.
I'm just having
really just want to emphasize the fact that cutting an like nearly 850 song long playlist down to 20 favorite B-sides and 20 favorite title tracks was really, really difficult. I struggled so bad cutting this to 20. Like so bad. It was really, really hard. And there were a lot of songs that I was like, I can't possibly not include this in the top 20, right? But it just didn't happen. So yeah, I could have easily made this like a top 50 quite happily, but I didn't want to edit that much, and so I compromised. My initial intention was to do a top 10. That wasn't happening, so I compromised with a top 20. Yeah, that's what we did. But anyway, let's get into the top 5. Let's get moving. So at number 5, we have a song from an artist that I have already mentioned in this video, but we're gonna bring it back to Tonga with Loyal.
I need somebody loyal. I need someone to stick with me through hell. I need somebody loyal.
So obviously I already talked about how much I loved the album. Alivio is so freaking good, but this did end up being my favorite B-side. It was a close call. It was like a real toss-up between this and Creepin', because I do love grown-ass women music, and that is Creepin' all over. Hell yeah. But there was just something about Loyal that just kept sticking in my brain, and I just couldn't shake it, and I was like, yeah, that's my song right there. So I went with Loyal, and I don't even know what to say, man. It's just really good. It's just a really, really good song. Her vocals on it are stunning. What else is there to say? Not much. It's just a really good song. That's going to be a lot of my thoughts throughout a lot of this. No specific details, just really freaking good, and I hope you guys are all right with that. Anyway, moving on to number 4 on this list, we have an artist that I have not mentioned. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. An artist that I have not mentioned at all yet in this video, but that is CIX with SOS. So this was a song, well, this was an album. The album came out early September, right? And I got to it late. It wasn't one that I reacted to, it was one that I just listened to in my own time. I was catching up on some albums that I hadn't had a chance to listen to yet, and I knew I wasn't going to react to. I was just catching up on some, and I think it was probably around like late October, early November time. So like, you know, almost 2 months after basically the album came out, and not long before I started putting together this list. And I heard that song. The album in general is really, really good. I think both CIX's albums this year, I think they only released 2, right? That's all I can remember. Yeah. They had 2 albums this year, and both of them were great. Really enjoyed. But this song hit me like a truck. It hit me like an absolute truck, and I've basically been listening to it on repeat since, and I don't think that's going to change. And it just stormed its way up this list with insane speed. It was just one of those songs, like the second it started playing I was like, oh yeah, that's for me. That song is absolutely for me right there. Love. And CIX, you know, they're not an artist that I spend a lot of time engaging with. I don't watch a lot of their content, but I do enjoy listening to their music, and I do my best to, while maybe not react to everything, I do my best to at least listen to it when I can. And I am so glad that I did with this, because I would be so upset if I missed out on this song. I wouldn't even know, but my soul would be upset, you know? That's kind of how I feel. Anyway, moving on to number 3 on this list, we have, this is the first one where it's like a little bit of a cheat, because I was like, I'm only going to include 1 song per artist on each list, and technically this counts because it's a solo song and not a group song. But this is Jihyo's ATM.
Coming back for more. Addicted to me. Yeah. ATM. Flawless when we go.
So yeah, obviously I already included Twice's Pizza Gelato as one of my favorites on this list, and I thought, you know what, I can forgive myself squeezing in what is technically another Twice song, but not really because it's just Jihyo, and include ATM because this song is an absolute masterpiece. I actually remember specifically when I reacted to it saying something along the lines of, this is one of the best things I've ever heard. And I stand by that. I said a little bit ago with regards to Tonga, I love me some grown-ass woman music, and that's what this song is in many ways. Just the vibe of it is just so it's just so good. I love her voice on it. I love everything that she does with the song. Her voice, like, she has this I don't know, this way of just adding like extra maturity and extra depth to her voice when she wants to. She has a very versatile voice in general. I feel like I think she can manipulate her voice to sound cuter and softer and brighter, or some like darker and maturer and huskier and all of that, and she really leans into that side of it for this song, and it's so good. It is so freaking good. I've been purposefully avoiding seeing any like spoilers for performances that she's done, because I know that they're obviously performing these solos on tour. And I've been purposefully trying to avoid as much of that, but the little clips that I have seen, devastating, deadly. Can't wait to put myself through that absolute insanity. But yeah, Tio absolutely earned a spot on this list with that song, masterpiece. To be fair, all of the songs, all of the solos on that album are really, really, really good. I loved listening through those solos. It was genuinely amazing. But Jiho's was by far and away the standout for me. Far and away. Anyway, we're going to move on to number 2. And this one, I did cheat again a little bit. But hear me out. I've included 2 songs at number 2. But they are by the same artist and they are on the same album. I simply couldn't choose between them. And I hope you guys will understand. It's my video, I do what I want. But at number 2, we have Le Seraphim with both Ash and So Cynical.
I want you to stop time. 불꽃이 되는 순간 마치 내가 숨쉬려 해. I want your love it. 아닌 척 좀 그만하자. 우리 서럽게 원하잖아.
Honestly, the 1-2 punch of these two back to back on the Hot album was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Like, listening to Ash, you're like, oh my god, a masterpiece. Beautiful, melodic, a bit moody. You know, it's so atmospheric and gorgeous. And then, bam, 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 bam. You get hit with So Cynical, and it's like, oh my god. And So Cynical did not receive as much love. You know, it received a lot of love, but not as much love as it should have. In my opinion, it and Ash are like so on par with each other, for me personally, that I wish So Cynical got like as much love and praise and appreciation as Ash did. But like, I also can't be mad because Ash is that bitch and very, very iconic, and we should have gotten promotions for it. I know why we didn't, but we should have. I'm very glad that we got the AAA stage for it. Hell yeah, gorgeous, stunning. I loved that moment for us. But we should have gotten promotions for it. Yeah. To be honest, the entire Hot album is so iconic. There was a reason it made it onto my favorite albums list. A big part of that reason were these 2 songs being back to back. And yeah, there was no way in hell I was going to be able to choose between them. I kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I was like, you know what? It's my video. I can do what I want. Both. ¿Por qué no los dos? You know, that's the vibe. So that's what I went with, and I hope you guys can understand and respect my decision. Honestly, I very nearly put them at number 1, but there was one more song that came out this year that just could not be beaten. Could not be beaten, no matter how much music I listened to this year, how many albums, how many B-sides. There was one song that just dominated from when it came out in March to now, and honestly quite probably into the far future. Coming in at number 1 for my B-sides of the year is NMIX's Papillon. Honestly, I don't even know if there's a whole lot that can be said about this song that hasn't been said 100 times already by so many different people. I've already seen it on so many people's lists, end of year lists, and with good reason. It is such a masterpiece of a track. The synths, the choppy like vocal production throughout is so freaking good. Lily on that one bit, I think it's the pre-chorus, and just the way she sings it and the way she kind of like stretches out certain syllables, I could listen to this song all day, every day, and I don't think I would get bored for a very, very long time, which is saying something, because I do get like listening fatigue for songs, even if I love them to death. If I listen to them too much, you know, my ears get tired of them. But this is one of those songs where like I can just listen to over and over and over again, and I've listened to it an awful lot this year, and I will continue to listen to it an awful lot. I love this song so much. It was very, very deserving of number 1 spot. You know, obviously Blue Valentine overall as an album was my favorite album, and to be fair FE304 Forward, also a very, very good album. Very, very good. NMIX have had an insane year, an insane couple of years. I'll keep saying it, an insane couple of years. But this song individually, yeah, out of the B-sides, this was by far and away my favorite NMIX song. I'm gonna say that a lot in this video, by far and away. It's a good phrase. But yeah, it was absolutely my favorite B-side of the year. And as much as Le Sserafim definitely came close with that 1-2 punch, Papillon just reigned supreme for me over the course of this entire year. And quite frankly, I'm okay with that. I'm very, very happy with it. Anyway, that's it for B-sides. We're gonna move swiftly on because I've already been sat here for a very, very long time. Let's move on to title tracks. Let's go. So same again, you're going to see my top 20 through to 6 all in one hit. We'll come back, we'll talk about my top 5. Enjoy.
Put your body on my body, won't you come and make a move? Ain't nobody got the money, they can do it like you. Put your body on my body, living beautiful strangers. We're beautiful strangers. With or without you, 너는 내는 천국은 지옥인걸. With or without you, 너를 아는 지옥은 촉수. Every girl deserves to have her exploration. Have a little fun without an explanation. Exit on them when they hit the expiration. And 매우 짙은 목기미가 기꺼이 take time over. 수근이 특가했다 이 얼굴에 눕고도 뭐. Keep taking all of my air, all my air. 묶인 시선 끝에 you take my breath away. Taking my air. Does the music got me singing something beautiful, beautiful? 터지지 몰라 bubblegum, bubblegum. 원한 cookie 난 cookie crumbs, cookie crumbs. 숨길 수 없지 yummy yum, yummy yum. Baby you make me smile. 네 스타일은 다 맞아. 그게 너라서 더 좋아. Got that one of a kind. You better, I like you better. You and I love is true. 'Cause this is too great. I like you better. No way you need it. Watch me. Shaggity, shaggity, stop, bop, bop. Shaggity, shaggity, stop, bop, bop. Shaggity, shaggity, stop, bop, bop. Do my, now do my dance, do my. I got the sauce. Colada, lada, night. I am different, different, different. 색깔이 또 sweet one. So sweet, so. I know I'm a lico. Watch me with the lights on. But she got a hold on me like a python. I don't wanna lose her. 'Cause she was my future. Shut up. Nobody gon' move
Okay, that was that. Once again, very similar to the B-side situation. There were so many great tracks. It was really, really difficult to narrow it down to 20, and also to put them in any semblance of order. Take these orders, aside from, like, you know, my top 5 or top 3s or whatever, take the orders with a big pinch of salt, like, because any given day, it could change. It's a very rough approximation of an order. Yeah, a lot of these tracks I love around the same amount, and I just kind of like put them in an order very loosely, so keep that in mind. But onto my top 5 title tracks of this year. We had some good ones. Okay, so coming in at number 5, we have another track that I didn't react to, but I listened to literally all year. I think, hang on, let me just remind myself when exactly it came out. Yeah, so it came out in April, and I'm pretty sure this was the debut track. There was one other song that came out before, but I think that was pre-debut. I might be misremembering. I'm not super familiar with the group. I've been kind of very loosely following them. I checked out some other stuff on stream, like some of their later stuff from this year, but I'm pretty sure this was at least one of their debut tracks, and coming in at number 5 is Cosmosy with Lucky One. So yeah, this was a song that came out back in April. I think I came across it not too long after it came out. I can't remember exactly when, but I don't think it was much later than that. I think I was just on Spotify and this song just popped up and I was like, let me have a listen, why not? And I had a listen to it, fell in love with it, and didn't stop listening to it all year. Just such a cool song. And then I didn't check back in with them for ages, and then at some point somebody suggested on one of my for one of my streams suggested doing some of their music videos. Trying to remember, I think we did Baby Don't Cry, Breaking the Love, and High Love. I think those were the two songs we did. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think at the very least it was those two. I don't know if there was another one that I'm just forgetting, but those were also great. I think they're a really interesting group. If you haven't checked them out, I do recommend. Very, very interesting, very unique group and group concept. I still don't know all of the details, but just what I do know is fascinating. But Lucky One is such a fire song, and yeah, I've just been utterly obsessed with it. I almost forgot. Because here's the thing, I was using a list of comebacks that happened to remind myself of stuff, because even though I have, you know, I try and keep track of my favorites throughout the year, there are inevitably going to be times where I do forget about certain albums and stuff like that, and I got to be like, okay, let me just remember what exactly came out this year, because there's also times where I'm like, oh man, I really love that song, and then I remember, oh wait, no, that came out last year, my bad. So yeah, I was going through a list of comebacks that have happened this year, but that was for K-pop specifically. And so I was like, right, I must not forget to add like XG tracks and Hana and Bini and, you know, these other artists, these non-K-pop artists that I've loved. I was like, I must not forget to go through and add them. But I completely forgot about Cosmosy. And then right at the last second, I was like, wait. I haven't stopped listening to this song all year. Why haven't I included it in my list? So yeah, here we are. It was a close call. I almost forgot about it, which is crazy. But I just had so many songs and so much music going around in my head the last couple of weeks. I almost completely forgot to add this one in. But it is absolutely one of my favorites. And yeah, I'm just very intrigued by this group and will be keeping an eye out for future stuff for sure. Whether they end up getting a whole lot of reactions from me, I don't know. I am hoping to be a bit more proactive in that regard into the new year, so hopefully, but we'll see. Anyway, we're gonna move on. Next, number 4. Number 4 for title tracks is a Japanese comeback from Twice with Enemy. Now, honestly, I think JYP, out of the majority of like companies, I think JYP does Japanese comebacks better than anyone else. You know, Twice's Japanese comebacks are amazing. Stray Kids' Japanese comebacks are amazing. ITZY's Japanese comebacks are phenomenal. You know, so on and so forth. Like JYP groups, just their Japanese comebacks are always so sick. But this, hands down, 100% my favorite Japanese comeback that Twice have ever had. Which is definitely saying something because they've had some really good ones, but this one just hit so good. It has such a nostalgic, sentimental energy to it, which is something that I really love and really gravitate towards within music. And it was just that, just condensed condensed and packaged into one song. It had an amazing kind of like pop rock, J-rock element to it, which honestly I would love to hear more of from Twice. I think they did such a good job with it, and I would love if we got some more of that from them in the future. Whether that'll happen, I don't know, but I loved it. Please give me 14 of them right now. So just such a great song. Jiho's vocals, as always, on it, stunning. That final note, the MV was beautiful. Just 10 out of 10, 5 stars. Loved. Hell yeah. That was a quick one. Very quick and very to the point with that one. But moving on to number 3, this was a song that actually was my song of the year for a very long time, until it got usurped by a couple of songs that came out a little bit later on. But we have Meow with Hands Up.
Hands up.
So this was another song that came out back in April, and I loved it from jump, and I was listening to it a lot, but I didn't really realize like how much I loved it until I think it was at some point in the summer when I guess maybe it just crossed my mind. I was like thinking about like, oh, what have been my favorite songs so far this year? And then it just kind of hit me. I was like, oh, I think my song of the year so far is Hands Up. Like I think that is it. And I was kind of like, whoa, what a concept. Amazing. So yeah, but it reigned supreme for quite a while, actually. It wasn't until much later on in the year that a couple of other songs sort of usurped it. But yeah, it's still definitely up there. Like, to be honest, I think this top 3 out of all of my lists, I think this top 3 are probably the closest in how much I love each of these songs, and how interchangeable they could be, especially 2 and 3. I feel like they're pretty interchangeable. But yeah, I decided to put Hands Up at number 3 for now, because as much as I love it, there were a couple of other songs that just slightly peaked above it for me. But it's such a fun song. I love the energy of it, the catchiness of it, the choreo for it as well, sick. The dance break, sick. Like, honestly, I'm a big fan of Meow. I really enjoyed everything that they have done so far. Please, long may it continue. And I think they deserve so much more love and attention than they have gotten. Like, they're not Nugu by any means, you know, they got plenty of fans and plenty of attention, but I just feel like, I don't know, man, I feel like they just deserve so much more. Like, they have the full package there to be such an insanely popular group, and I want it to happen for them because the music is so good. They're so freaking talented, and they're really funny as well. So here's hoping we can have yet more growth in 2026 for them. But yeah, what a sick song. Hands Up, such a sick song. Love it so much. Cannot wait to hear more. Hell yeah. Okay, moving on to number 2. This is where I think it's got really tough, okay? Because I had, for both number 2 and number 1, I had 2 songs from the same group that I was like flip-flopping between, like, which one should I choose, which one should I choose, which one should I choose? And it was driving me insane. So I was like, do I just like do the cheaty thing again, like I did with the Le Sserafim B-sides, and just put like 2 songs for one spot? And It's tempting. It's very, very tempting. But I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good, and I'm actually gonna pick one song for each of them. But I will give a nod to the other song that was very, very close. So for my number 2 spot, I went with Hana with Non-Stop.
I didn't think it was really gonna happen. Get a multi that winner. Had a statue more kids with that, but the captain need they turn up. Nihonju so wagashiwa there was like who's Hana.
Now hear me out. Now hear me out, because I feel like some people may be watching this and being like, wait, it's not Bad Love? What do you mean? Because I lost my shit over Bad Love, and I still do. Love that song. That was obviously the other song that I was going back and forth with. Bad Love just speaks to my soul, and I love it so much, and it was the song on this list, and then Non-Stop dropped. And the thing about Non-Stop is, like, musically, sonically, Bad Love is more my standard taste, but Non-Stop for me, it's more like what it represents as a song. Like, it's a banger as a song on its own. Like, it's not just about what it represents. Like, it is an absolute banger of a song, and it's definitely up there with Bad Love on how much I love it just as a song. But what really got me about Non-Stop was what it represents, and it being basically a culmination of everything that Hana have achieved this year. And for those watching this video who may not be familiar, Hana are a Japanese group who debuted earlier this year. Again, I think it was back in like March, April time. And I have been utterly obsessed with them. Every single song they have released has been a banger. And they have released various singles over the year, all slightly different. And they have blown up in Japan. Like, they are so popular and so successful in Japan. Just, I don't think you could imagine a better debut year for a group than what Hana have had in Japan this year. It's so cool. It's so cool to see, and I'm so proud of them and so happy for them. And Non-Stop is just kind of like the representation of all of that, of the growth that they have had, the journey that they've been on from pre-debut to No Girls to now, like, and everything that they've achieved. It's just the culmination of that, and I think that's what slightly puts Non-Stop over the edge of Bad Love for me. Just slightly. We're talking millimeters difference, but it just, that energy, that feeling of we made it, and in the most spectacular fashion as well. Like, it just gets me. It gets me so much, and the song itself gets me so hyped. It's like one of my favorite things to listen to first thing in the morning when I need like an energy burst. So good to listen to for that. So that was the song that I went with, but make no mistake, Bad Love is still it's still that bitch. And it's still like my soul song when it comes to Hana tracks. So yeah, I had to make a choice. I went with Non-Stop, and I'm quite happy with it. So yeah. Anyway, moving on to my number 1 title track of this year. Once again, same as with Hana, I had 2 songs from the same artist that I was going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and I very, very nearly was like, screw it, I'm just putting both songs. Very, very nearly, because I just didn't know how to choose between them. I really didn't. But I did make a decision. I am committing to it. My number 1 title track for this year is NMIX's Blue Valentine. It's interesting, actually. My decision making is very, very similar, if not exactly the same, as it was for Hana. Both Blue Valentine and High Horse, I know it was a pre-release, but I'm counting it as more on the title track side than the B-side side. It's a whole thing. But Blue Valentine and High Horse were both tracks that I loved basically an equal amount, and I just couldn't choose between them. Like, High Horse just, again, it just like speaks to my soul. And Blue Valentine does as well, but like High Horse will. And so I was like, how am I going to choose between them? But again, for Blue Valentine, it's just what it represents. and the impact that that song has on its own, that just slightly beats out High Horse for me. Again, it's that culmination of an insanely good year, and it's the song that by far and away is their most successful title track to date, in terms of like charting and everything like that. It's just, this song fills me with so many emotions, both good and like not bad necessarily, but melancholic, if you will. It's such an interesting song, such a beautiful song, and yeah, I just decided, you know what, I don't think there is any other song more fitting for my number one title track of the year than this one. In terms of what it represents, what it sounds like, the impact that it had on me, it was Blue Valentine all the way, basically. Just to put it as simply as possible, it always was Blue Valentine for me. And yes, you may have noticed that does mean that NMIX is my number one on each of these categories. You are very right. And I didn't even think about that until I was actually like making these lists, and I was like, oh, damn, yeah, okay, all right, NMIX, I see you. Good job. You absolutely dominated my year. Love that for you guys. So, good times. Love me some NMIX. Absolutely love me some NMIX. Anyway, we're gonna move on. So we've done our albums, we've done B-sides, we've done title tracks. We're gonna move on now to a little segment of categories, specific categories. This is gonna go a lot quicker. Basically, I have 7 different categories that I have chosen. It's kind of similar to what I did with my video for last year. I think minus a couple of categories, or one, or I can't remember. But anyway, and I've only chosen one artist per each of these categories. I will mention a few, like, you know, honorable mentions and whatnot, other artists that I loved in each one. But for the most part, yeah, I've just picked one per category, because I can. So, first category up is my favorite vocal artist this year. Now, I'm doing this slightly differently to what I did last year. Last year, I picked like my favorite vocal performance within a certain song. Same for rap, same for choreo. I like picked, well, actually no, for choreo it's one song this year as well. But for vocals and rap, I picked one song specifically. For this year, I'm actually going more on an artist specifically and their vocals across the year in certain, you know, in their music, and same with their rap. Just because it's frankly a lot easier than just picking one song that you really loved the vocals on or you really loved the rap on. Like, that is really hard. It's really, really difficult. If you don't have like an immediate, like, number one standout favorite in a certain category, it's really, really difficult to pick one. So I'm going a little bit more loosey-goosey with it. So, my favorite vocal artist this year. Good lord, was it difficult to pick, but I decided, after much deliberation, my favorite vocal artist this year was Beanie.
First love, can make it like
Now, I feel like this might be a surprise to some people, because there just are, there's so many great vocal groups out there. Obviously, I've talked about NMIX an awful lot in this video, and I feel like you can't talk about NMIX without mentioning the vocals. Lord knows. Nona, stunning. Stunning group, stunning voices, incredible. You have Meow as another group with beautiful, beautiful voices. Can't not talk about my girl Chisa in XG and that whole explosive moment in Gala. There are so many artists that I could talk about with regards to vocals, but I just kept coming back to Beanie. Beanie were an artist that I got to know over the course of this year, and I'm still in the process of getting to know. I still have a lot of older tracks to go back and listen to, but out of the tracks that they dropped this year, I think especially with First Love and Sweet Tooth and Paru Paro, so on and so forth, like, just the vocal arrangements that they have are so stunning, and they have an insane vocal line across their group in general. The vocal, like, Joanna, Colette, Malloy, obviously. I have been really impressed with Gwen's vocals. I love Mika's voice. I love Aya's. Like, I love all of their voices individually so good. So much. But what really, really impresses me and really blows me away about them is are the vocal arrangements and the way their voices come together and blend. It's so beautiful. If you ever watch live performances of them, you can see it in the way they harmonize with each other, and like it's beautiful. It's beautiful, and that's why I couldn't help but keep coming back to Beanie when I was thinking about favorite vocal artists over the course of this year, because those vocal arrangements are just absolutely stunning. So that is who I went with. Yes, there are many others, and I loved them also, but yeah, I decided to go with Beanie for this year. So moving on to rap then, and once again, many options. Obviously, actually no, let me say who my favorite was before I start talking about my honorable mentions, because I don't want to give it away. But my favorite rap artist this year, again, it might be a little bit controversial, but I'm going for it. It was Hana. And again, I feel like I said, it might be a little bit controversial. Some people may disagree. Many people will probably disagree. And you know, XG, you can't not talk about like that monster rap segment in Gala is insane, and I very nearly went with them purely for that. Very nearly went with actually purely for that. You've got them. I love and adore Baby Monster's rap line. Lord knows, Asa, one of my favorite girls in K-pop in general. And her, Ruka, and Aihan, and Takita, to be fair, holding down Baby Monster's rap line. Love it. Love. For the boy groups, obviously, my P1 Harmony boys, always eating it up. Stray Kids boys, always eating it up. So on and so forth. There are so many great rap performances you could talk about. But for me, personally, when I think about the songs that I've listened to the most, the MVs or performance videos or whatever that I've gone back and watched the most, I keep going back to Hana. And, you know, especially with Drop and with Non-Stop being predominantly rap-based tracks, I just... they just owned it for me this year. And I think Momoka and Mahina in particular, you know, they're my top two in the group anyway. But them being like the main rap line, if you will, they just absolutely solidified it. I think they're such a great example of a low tone, high tone rapping duo within a group. Such a great example of that. And they just eat it up every single time. So freaking good. I could listen to Momoka rap all day. All freaking day. Her main segment in Bad Love is breathtaking, and I love that she obviously took part in writing it. Love. All of her parts in Burning Flower, incredible. Also, Mahina's main rap part in Burning Flower, iconic. That like whiny tone that she brings in, I love. Yeah, it was... Hana was my standout rap artist this year in terms of what they delivered, what their rappers delivered this year. And I don't care if people disagree. That was my personal opinion. I had a great time listening to them, as I'm sure many people are already aware. Anyway, moving on to choreo then. God damn, picking a favorite choreo is like, I don't know why I do this to myself. I could, you know, make things easier for myself and just focus on like songs purely, but I did these categories last year and I did enjoy doing them, so I was like, let me do them again. And then I forgot about categories like this one, like picking a favorite choreo. It's really hard. It's really hard, mainly because while there are so many great ones out there, I can't remember the details of every single choreo that I've watched, you know? So for this, while there is one specific choreo that I am thinking of that was like my main reason for picking the artist that I have, I did kind of, again, not focus too much on specific songs, but more like an artist overall and how much I enjoyed their choreos as like across the year, if that makes sense. So the artist that I went for my favorite choreo performance or dance performance or whatever you want to call it was XG.
Turn the hallway to a catwalk. Turn the sidewalk to a runway. Every day's a photo shoot that part. Paparazzi going off it on the front page. Roll the minute. Windows 10 and can't see through it, but they know.
Don't you love how my favorites in all three of these categories have been non-K-pop groups? I love that for me. We love diversity. Anyway, so yeah, I did end up going with XG for choreo. I've mentioned them with regards to vocals and rap, and both very, very appropriate categories for XG, but I went with putting them as my favorite choreo group mainly because of the gala choreo. That shit is insane to watch. Their choreos are always so good. And I don't know when exactly they came up with the In the Rain choreo. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later. No spoilers, slight spoiler. Slight spoiler for later category. But I don't know exactly when they came up with whether that was a new thing for this year or if they started performing it last year. I genuinely can't remember. But that's a great and incredible choreo. But the gala choreo in particular is just a masterpiece, and in particular watching Hinata do that choreo is like it's like one of my favorite things at the moment. It's just watching her going back and replaying like the dance practice or or performances or whatever, and just watching Hinata. It's just so much fun. Like, girlie is in her element and devouring. And also gotta give it up to Harvey as well. Absolutely eats down. She's such a great like dominant force on stage. Kokona with his like little break dancing moment, love. Like, there's just so many iconic moments in that choreo. And so when I was thinking about this category, I was like, oh, okay, no, I think it might actually be a no-brainer. There are other artists that I will mention as like having choreos that I really loved. Once again, I'm going to mention NMIXX, the High Horse choreo in particular. Stunning. I love it when groups bring in a more like contemporary lyrical style into a K-pop choreo. Love that shit. So give it up to them. I obviously always love anything LE SSERAFIM does in terms of their performance and choreo aspect. It's super, super fun. The spaghetti choreo is so iconic and so fun. I just, hell yeah. I want to give a shout out to Hearts to Hearts. Mainly because if you've ever watched their dance practice, their synchronization is crazy. It's insane. I'm like, how much did you drill this choreo to be that synchronized? Like, it's insane to watch. I highly recommend watching them. And the final one that I'll give a shout out to is Meow, just because I love their dance breaks. They do a damn good dance break, and the choreos are always super, super fun. So shout out to Suin. You badass dancer, you. The whole group is super talented, but Suin is just such a sick dancer to watch. So yeah, lots of great dance performances over the course of this year. So many artists that I can't even begin to name, but that gala choreo, man. That gala choreo is something else, and I just, yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer. When I actually like thought about it properly, I was like, oh yeah, no, that is absolutely a no-brainer. Okay, cool, noted. Anyway, moving on to the next category. This one is gonna be a very quick and simple one. It's my favorite collaboration that we have had this year, and for this year, my favorite collaboration, it does go to Lisa, Doja Cat, and Ray with Born Again. Now, I feel like we didn't get as many like really iconic collaborations this year, at least not that I can remember. We had Blink with Tui and Corbin, what's his name? Corbin Besson, I think his name is. Yeah, Corbin Besson. We had Blink, that was a great song, really, really fun collaboration there. We had Jurin collabing with Rhapsody for PS118. Iconic, incredible, loved that. But I feel like, yeah, we didn't have as many like major standout collaborations this year. as we have in previous years. But when I was going back over this year, I was like, oh yeah, no, I listened to Born Again an ungodly amount. That I think it's the bridge when Ray just does her thing. Yeah, hell yeah. It was just three incredibly awesome women being incredibly awesome on an incredibly awesome track. It was, again, kind of a no-brainer for my favorite collab this year. Easy win. I loved that song so much. So like I said, a pretty quick one, but hell yeah. Hell yeah for powerful women collaborating with each other. We love to see it. Okay, moving on to the fifth category then, and we have my favorite music video for this year. And this, once again, was really difficult. Well, actually, kind of. I've had an MV in mind for most of the year. Hang on, let me just remind myself when this MV came out, because I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was relatively early in the year. Yeah, it was back in April. A lot of stuff, a lot of my favorite things from in terms of favorites for this video happened in April. Interesting. So this, yeah, it came out in April, and it kind of immediately was like, oh, this might end up being one of my favorite MVs of the year. And then as we were going throughout the year, there were other MVs where I was like, okay, this is great, love this, but I didn't have another MV that really stood out and grabbed me in quite the same way that this one did. So my favorite music video for this year was the music video for XG's In the Rain. And this, it might be surprising to some people that I go with this, because this essentially is a performance video. It's, you know, there aren't any glamour shots in it. There's no like major like storyline or acting performance or anything like that. There's nothing really that crazy going on in this music video. It's just a really beautifully, incredibly well-made performance video. But it is so well done that it has just been stuck in my head all year. From the second I watched it, I've just been so impressed with this. From the way, I think the opening scene is almost entirely one shot, just bringing in one member after another. The costuming for it is gorgeous. The choreo is obviously stunning. The work with the umbrellas, the water on the floor, the transition in the second verse to the different rooms and the different places that they're in, and then transitioning to the outdoor set with the fog and like the rain coming down and everything. Like, it's just so beautiful. It's so beautifully made, and it might be one of the more like quote unquote simple music videos of the year, but it left such an impact on me. I couldn't not have it be my favorite MV. And it's interesting because technically the song itself came out the year before, but because the MV came out this year, it counts. It counts for this list, and I am perfectly happy with it. Now, I will just give a couple of shout outs to some other MVs that I really enjoyed. I will once again talk about NMIX. The Blue Valentine MV I think is stunning and does such a good job of capturing all of the complex emotions that the song does. Beautiful. And I think the other MV that definitely stood out to me this year was Hannah's Bad Love MV. I think Hannah's MVs in general are sick, but Bad Love had so much like symbolism in it for me. It very nearly took the spot. But again, I couldn't quite forget this. I couldn't quite forget about In the Rain. It was just too special to me. So that is what I went with in the end. But yeah, a great time. So I am very intrigued to see what will happen next year, because I do intend on being a little bit more on it and a bit more aware as I'm watching MVs over the course of this next year and thinking about what my favorites at the end of next year might be. It'll be interesting to see what ends up being my favorite there, but for this year, I'm quite happy with my choice. quite happy. Anyway, we have 2 categories left, and they are New Artist of the Year and My Artist of the Year. And I think both of these categories should be pretty damn obvious if you have been paying attention and watching this video up until this point. But let's get into my New Artist of the Year. Let's go. So I went with New Artist rather than Rookie of the Year, because I feel like Rookie of the Year, it's not just so much artists that have debuted this year. It kind of extends past that, and that just became way too complicated for my brain. So I specifically have made it artists that debuted this year. I didn't really need to do that because the choice was very obvious for me anyway. But just to keep things simple in my brain, that's what I did. But my favorite new artist of the year, again, should not be a surprise to anyone that's been paying attention. My favorite new artist of this year is Hana.
Blue jeans, flowy sneaker. My hair was messed,
Now, I've obviously talked a lot about them already in this video, and I will talk about them a lot more in the future. I have no doubt. But Hana they exploded into my world with such a fierceness. And they grabbed me from the second I watched Drop and Rose. And I was a little bit late to the party, but from the second that I watched those 2, I was like, oh, okay, they got something special going on. But what really got me about this group were, aside from every single song being something a little bit different, but equally incredible and fun, and badass and so on and so forth. Aside from the music side of things and the talent side of things, what really got me about them were their personalities, and watching, like their vlogs and their MV reactions and like little things like that. Like they're so funny and they're so real and so down to earth. And I just immediately connected with them. And then over the course of this year, just every single song that they have released has just, I don't know, like they just kept carving a bigger and bigger place in my heart out for themselves as time went on. Just every single thing, every song, every new video that I watched, like every single thing just chipped away, and now they're nestled in there, and I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon. I am such a fan of every single one of these girls, and I am so excited for the future for them, because like I said before, they have had the most insane debut year, and I'm so proud of them. And it's just the fact that this is just the beginning is so exciting and so cool. I'm so pumped for what might come for them in the future. And they've clearly got an amazing team behind them, and they've got so much support, and I have full faith and full trust that they will continue to do amazing things. Yeah, I'm so proud of them, and we say thank you, Tanmina, for putting together this absolutely elite group. Thank you very much, Queen. We love you. We love you so much. So they are my favorite new artists. I will really quick just say, a little shout out to some other new artists this year that I have really loved. I want to give a shout out to Xlove. Love them so much. Everything that they stand for. Their music is super fun. They are so talented. I love seeing all of the random little like clips that I see from them. I see them all the time on TikTok and everything. Like I love it so much. They're such a fun group to watch, and I will continue to keep an eye out for them in the future. We'll also give a shout out to Hearts to Hearts. I've really enjoyed everything they've done this year, and of course another shout out to Nona as well. An amazing group. Incredible vocals, great music, such a strong like musical direction, and I'm very excited for what the future might hold for them as well. I think the world is their oyster, and I look forward to seeing what they make of it. Moving on though to our final category for today. Out of the categories, we've still got some other stuff to do, but out of the categories, our final category is my artist of the year. And again, this should be absolutely no surprise whatsoever. based on everything that I've been talking about in this video, my artist of this year is NMIXX. Honestly, I don't think there's a whole lot that I need to say that I haven't already said like at least twice in this video. NMIXX, they've just absolutely dominated this year for me, like completely and utterly. Album, title track, B-side, they had my number one for every single one of those. And they've just had such an insane year, and they've been such a dominant force in terms of what I've listened to and the content that I've enjoyed. Like, they've just taken over this year for me, and I'm just so thrilled. I'm such a happy fan right now, and as I've already said and will keep saying, I'm so excited for what next year might hold for them. Obviously, they are on tour. Very exciting times. I hope that goes well. And yeah, may we continue to get more incredible music and incredible moments from NMIXX for many, many years to come. I look forward to everything that they have in store for us, because these last couple of years have really been something very, very special. And like I said, I'm a very happy fan right now. So yeah, my artist of the year, NMIXX. Now then, we are almost at the end of the video, thank God, because my voice is starting to give up on me. It is starting to peace out. What I'm going to do for this final segment, because I don't think I really need to talk through my favorite groups and my current biases, my current top biases. I don't think I need to talk through that a whole lot more. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to let those play, and yeah, you can just see what's going on if you're interested. What I will just say really quickly in terms of my current top groups and biases is it is very much my current favorites. It does fluctuate. I know for some people it's like they have their like number one or top two or top three like groups or artists, and that's it, and nothing ever changes. And I honestly, I respect it. I respect it. Could not be me. Simply could not be me, because mine does fluctuate, and it depends on how much I've enjoyed their music any given year, how much content I've interacted with any given year, so on and so forth. Like, it fluctuates, it changes, and it shifts, which is why I like to sort of say at the end of the year, like, hey, this is what my bias list is looking like right now. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Just because certain groups move around in the list, it doesn't necessarily mean that I love them any less. It just means that I've interacted with them differently this year. Does that make sense? I don't know, but just keep in mind, I still love so many artists. These are just like currently the ones who are most on my mind and the most dominant in my heart at the moment. So enjoy. You'll see my top 10, my current top 10 groups and my current top 5 biases, and then we'll come back and I'll say goodbye. Okay, enjoy.
I am a rich man. I am what I am. I am a rich man. Watch me. Now do my dance, do my now go up like wow, 우린 killers. Go up like wow, 우린 villains. Hop on me, baby, whoa. Up like wow. I like you better, you and I love you too, 'cause this is too great. I like you better, the way you did it. This is for all my ladies who don't get hyped, you know. If you've been done wrong, then this your song, so turn it up. One time for all my ladies, you looking good. 사실 난 I forgive you that I gotta miss you. 날이 보이게 나가다 스며가던 This love is over. 다시 뛰어들어 난 네 사랑은 colder on deep. First we go into the next girl. Damn. I just didn't make it to the next girl. I'm burning hard. 내가 날
Okay, so that brings us to the end of that for another year. This is a really long video. I wasn't intending for it to be quite this long, but I guess it's not really that surprising when you look at what I decided to include in it and how much I waffled. But I hope you enjoyed watching this and enjoyed seeing my favorites for the year. It has been an interesting year for me personally, lots of ups and downs, and you know, some things that went really well and some things that just didn't, and yeah, just lots of stuff going on. But I have learned a lot of lessons, and I am taking those lessons forward into 2026, and I am really looking forward to this year and what it might have in store for me, both as a person, as a reactor, as a fan. Lots of things to look forward to in the new year, I hope. But let me know, like I said in the beginning, let me know what your favorites have been for 2025. I would love to know. And yeah, that'll bring me to the end of that. Thank you very much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Happy New Year. Bye-bye.